Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Humbo here, bringing you a brand new upload, and today we're going to be going over the 5 things you should never do, the 5 things you need to avoid at all costs when you are trying to practice in Fortnite, trying to get better in Fortnite, your daily routine. We're going to be going over these fast, quick, easy 10-minute video. I'm going to nail every single point. Just make sure y'all drop a sub with the noties on, bro. It helps me so much. Road to 100,000 subs. Drop a like, a comment if my videos help you out. It all means the world. Love you guys. But without further ado, let's get in this video, man. 5 things you should never do when practicing in Fortnite. Alright guys, so I really wanted to start this video off by saying that you guys need to recognize that even after watching this video and any other self-help or improvement video for your gameplay, you are still going to be doing the mistakes that I mentioned in this video. There's no way you can go from doing all these different mistakes and then overnight just becoming like, you know, a GO, where you're just not doing any mistakes, you're a perfect person. It's not realistic. Here's the actual key if you want to get better. You need to recognize when you had a bad day, a bad week, or just a bad training session, and then don't get down on yourself about it or think that you messed up and now it's over. All you have to do is be mindful of the fact that you made a mistake. You don't even have to correct it that day. Just by recognizing it in the moment and internalizing your issue, right? So let's say you're just not practicing properly, and I'll be going over these different mistakes, but let's say you make a mistake, okay? Just by recognizing that you have the problem, that's step number 1 of working towards fixing it. You guys need some patience. You need to realize you're not just going to change overnight and become a GO just from some tips you heard in a video. You need to practice mindfulness. You need to recognize the problems that are listed in this video as they come up in your day-to-day gameplay, your day-to-day practice, and then slowly but surely, as long as you keep it in your mind, you keep talking about it, thinking about it, putting that forward into the world, you will see that improvement, I promise. But yeah, let's get into the 5. Just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, guys, so now getting into mistake number 1 when you guys are practicing to try to get real good at Fortnite. This is going to be for building mechanics or just any sort of a retake, and that is that you guys aren't sticking with a new retake you're trying to learn. You either saw it on a retake tutorial video, or you saw or somebody, you know, big that you watched do a piece control move, and you're now in creative practicing it. In the second that you don't learn it, right, you're dropping that move in a day or 2 and just going back to your regular comfortable move set. This is such a big issue. I challenge you right now to say, all right, here we go. I found a retake. Boom, I like it, okay? I want to learn this. And yeah, you're not going to learn it the first day, the second day. I'm asking you to put 10 to 15 minutes into that retake every day for a month. You need to be sturdy. All you got to do, 10, 15 minutes a day. I promise you'll know that retake by the end of the month. Stop running away. I used to have this problem, right? I'd see a new retake on a YouTube video and it would be very challenging. And let me know if you guys relate to this in the comments, but you'll literally see a retake. You'll be looking for something new, something difficult that you really like, and you'll find it, or a piece control move, and you'll be all amped up to try it. And the second it doesn't go the way it did in the video that you saw, you know, this cracked guy do it, you just kind of give up and you go back to your regular retakes, the regular free builds your brain's already used to. You have the muscle memory down. You're sitting in your comfort zone, okay? Mistake number 1 right there. You need to be pushing the boundary every week and every month to try to learn new moves, keep up with the meta. As we all know, Fortnite's ever changing, and if you're not adapting, you're gonna fall behind pretty fast. So I challenge you, 10 to 15 minutes of your routine every single day to one new retake or piece control combination that you really like, that puts a hard challenge on you, okay? Not something that's easy for you to do or you do 50% of the time. Pick something that you can't do at all. Nothing at all. Like, you literally cannot do it. Put 10 to 15 minutes into it every day for a month. You'll have it down by the end of the month, guaranteed. And now for mistake number 2 that I see so many people making when they're going into their daily training or practice routines for Fortnite, is that they're letting the people around them dictate how serious they take it. Okay, it's all up to you, man. Like, however much you want to put into this, however serious you want to take this in your training, go hard, man. Like, who cares what anybody thinks about it, all right? Of course, the general people around you, they're not going to be going as hard as you, right? If you're really looking to improve, you're going to have to actually invest a lot of time into this, and you need to be okay with that, and you need to be okay with people judging you for that, okay? Listen, and everybody's got different goals, right? Some people want to be really good at a physical sport. So maybe you want to be good at both. But if you want to get good at a video game, the same things apply to anything else in life. And you need to get that out of your mind that although it's a video game, it's just for fun. Dude, this stuff's competitive, and it's really cool because you don't have to be the biggest physical person to be good at it. You don't have to be physically gifted. You just got to put in work, man. You got to put in practice. And that's what's really cool about video games. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Give it 5, 10, 20 years. Video games, esports is going to be one of the biggest sports in the world. Top 3, I'm calling it right here, right now. I promise you guys, you want to get to the wave before it hits. It's just like the UFC was really small a couple years ago. Now it's huge. You know, 10, 20 years ago, the UFC was nothing. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Don't be afraid of your dreams and what people are going to think of them, man. Just go off. So you need to attack your training in that way. You need to take it as serious as anything else. If you walk into a day of free building with that mindset, I promise you, you're going to improve 2-3 times faster, because mindset's everything, bro. A lot of people get mad at me because I talk a lot in the abstract and things like this, but I also do drills and tip videos that are very strict and to the point. But right now, I'm trying to get your mindset right. I'm trying to get everything together, make you guys actually start reaching outside your comfort zone. All right, guys, so now for mistake number 3 that I want to get into here, it's going to be not having a well-rounded practice routine. So now, guys, what this means is it's not necessarily that you're just focusing on your strengths and not your weaknesses. It's more just about hitting every single part of your gameplay every single day so you don't get rusty. So what this means is I would break it up into 5 different training sides, okay? So number 1, okay, you need to work on your game sense. So how do you work on game sense? The best way I would say to do this is to play arena and be mindful of when you were messing up bad. And here's an example of that. So I would say, you guys ever run into a situation in a fight or in duos where you cannot seem to locate or track the person you're fighting well, and you're getting behind, your duo's getting 2v1, you're just not on the same page. So this is communication, game sense, understanding where you are in a fight and how to position yourself better. And all this comes down to is experience, repetitions, but also being mindful of when you mess up, like we talked about earlier. The same person can play arena for 3 hours and get nothing or no improvement out of it, and then the person on the right over there can actually be learning from these fights and learning from these engagements and trying to work on coordinating better and having better game sense. So that's the number 1. This number 2 thing that I talk about is actual retakes. So this is for going vertical, trying to get high ground. This is sitting in creative, practicing and pushing yourself on new retakes. And then we have aim, of course. So this is something that's super under practiced, especially by new keyboard and mouse players. And this is coming down to practicing aim dueling, Kovacs, aim trainers, anything you guys want to do. You need to be putting in that 15 minutes every single day, right? So I don't recommend going for 2 hours in any one of these sections. Of course, then you have box fighting and tunneling. You have zone wars you can play, tons of different types of practice. But here's the big thing. You don't have to put this crazy 8-hour day in every day. That's not realistic, especially if you guys have school and stuff. What's important is putting 15 to 20 minutes into each of these categories every day and actually being focused. You need to spread out your routine to cover all of your bases and make sure you're a well-rounded player. That's going to go the furthest. You need to be versatile if you guys want to make it in any type of a competitive game. So if you're not versatile and you're only leaning on 1 or 2 strengths, that table's going to fall over. You need to have all the legs there. You need to be able to hold up over time and be well-rounded. And now for mistake number 4 that I see so many of you guys making when you're trying to get a really good practice routine and schedule going, and that is that you're comparing your routine with other players around you, other YouTubers, streamers, even really good friends that are just at a different part of their journey than you. And I would honestly say that this is the biggest mistake you can make when you're trying to see a long-term progression in yourself, because the only person you should be comparing yourself to is who you were last week when you were practicing, who you were last week during your routine, your retakes, and all your piece control, all that stuff. The second you start to compare yourself with people who are at a way different part of their journey than you, this is where you're going to run into extreme demotivation and burnout, because you're comparing yourself to people who just aren't on the same level as you right now. They may be way further along. It'd be the same thing as if you were looking at somebody who had a six-pack, who was shredded, and you just started going to the gym, right? You just started doing the right workouts or eating properly. You just started getting in these good habits. Why are you comparing yourself to somebody who's 6 months, a year down the road from where you need to be? You can be inspired by them. You can be inspired by me even, that'd be super sick. But I don't want you guys to look at the gameplay that I put out and then immediately think that, like, oh my gosh, if I'm not putting this out, I'm done for. It's not worth it. It is worth it, man. Your own journey, your own process is where the fulfillment should come from. And just trying to be better than yourself last week, last month, last year, just all that type of stuff, man. So important. I hope you guys can really take that away from this. All right, guys, and now for the final mistake number 5, and that is going to be a lack of discipline. And I see this with pretty much everybody, every aspect of life, but especially when you're trying to get good at a video game long term, especially Fortnite. What you're seeing is you're gonna be motivated right now, right? You just watched this video, you already know your boy Humbo's got you gassed up. You're gonna hop in, you're gonna grind today. You're probably gonna grind tomorrow. You're probably gonna grind this week. But what about at the end of the month? What about the month after that when the results start to slow down, you start to see those beginner gains start to fade? Because right when you get into a grind, you're gonna start to see those leaps of improvement. And then as time goes on, the leaps get smaller and smaller, and it starts to get harder and harder to actually pull that motivation out. And here's the big mistake is you guys are leaning on motivation. You're leaning on videos like this. My ultimate goal with my channel is to make it so that you don't need to watch my videos anymore. You can pull that discipline from yourself, that self-motivation. And that's what you got to do long term if you want to see the results. Because if you're just leaning on people like me, it ain't gonna work for you in the long term, man. You gotta pull it from yourself, man. But yeah, guys, without further ado, I'm gonna end this video up. I hope y'all drop a sub. I really hope my videos can help you guys. You already know your boy Humble kind of had a tough month, but I've been grinding. The uploads about to come firing out. So I hope you guys can appreciate this video, man. Love y'all. Peace.